WDWNT, the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news. This is ParksCenter. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of ParksCenter. Joining me on tonight's show, we have Chris.
Hello, everyone.
Jill.
Hello.
Pete.
Sivako.
Bringing it back. And Tyler.
I'm gonna wreck it. Finally, a good theme.
We'll get to we'll probably get to that in the post show tonight. All right, kicking off tonight's show. Our first story is going to be about Space Mountain of all things. I'm honestly a little surprised, but we have a new exit to Space Mountain now. Speed ramps got taken out. It is now walking. That is what it used to look like. These nice little dioramas, things like that. Now we have hallways. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? Don't you all love these hallways?
This is just another reason for me to want to have an ECV. Now I get it. Now I get it. Why do I have to walk? I'm already doing 20,000 steps at Disney World. Now I have to exit Space Mountain through Universal Studios and then back into the park. Why?
You know what, though?
Give me an
That's an
ECV.
amazing point. So last time I was down there, my niece was in a wheelchair because she broke her hip. So I pushed her in the wheelchair all the way into Space Mountain. Now I would have had to push her all the way out of Space Mountain. If you're in a manual wheelchair, that is really a long way to go up a lot of hills. I hope there's a wheelchair exit.
Manual wheelchair? I'm sorry. I have disabled family members. I would please put me in a wheelchair because I don't want to walk this. This may as well be the next Run Disney event. Hey, leave Space Mountain as fast as you can. It's a 5K.
Oh my gosh. The Space Mountain Climbers. Please, oh my gosh, that needs to be a shirt this year. Oh, March Tragic. There we go.
I don't think I'm fit enough to ride Space Mountain just to exit.
You've got all these people
do you think it costs?
Do we know? I'm sorry, Tyler. What was that?
Yeah, it's okay. How much money do you think it costs to operate that conveyor belt, though? There's got to be a small number. Way too
Given
much?
that every airport ever has one of these.
There are 7 doors underneath the ground that just go like this.
Don't go uphill.
Everything's because of money, but is that really why they don't have the moving sidewalk anymore? Wouldn't that have been more of a safety issue? And I don't understand what that could have been. And is this permanent? Are the dioramas not coming back?
I think the dioramas are still there.
Escalator broken. Temporarily stairs.
Yeah. Sorry for the convenience. Yeah, gosh.
The only thing I can imagine is that it's...
Jill has intelligent things to say. Go on.
Jill, is that right?
Yeah. Still there.
Okay.
They didn't move. If you watch our video that Nathan took the other day, the dioramas are still there. What has changed is where the green screen was, so you'd go past and you'd see yourself on the several different screens up the ramp. That is now all walled in. Although my suspicion is that they're going to theme.
I know we're over time, but why? Why did they take that out?
I think it's temporary. I think they're going to retheme it, and it's going to be something that's going to help segue sort of into Tron.
No, I mean the sidewalk.
Oh, that maybe needed a refresh and they decided to get rid of it instead. I don't know.
You think they're going to theme Space Mountain to Tron and redo this entrance or exit again? That is bananas to me. I'm the optimist. You're the pessimist. Are you kidding me?
No, just the part at the end that's now just solid walls. Not the whole thing, just the part that's solid walls.
Since you're on Space Mountain and you're able to walk 2.1 miles, why don't you go check out Tron up the road? It's going to be fantastic.
If your heart rate's up not high enough from climbing up that hill, go on Tron.
Moving the conveyor belt to Tron. Confirmed.
I'll ride that.
So speaking of computerized algorithms and things like that, they're going to be taking your picture soon. So select meet and greets are going to be getting cameras installed on them in Disney World at this point. So Disney will continue to have PhotoPass photographers. This is not replacing the PhotoPass photographer program entirely, but it does seem like this might be maybe limiting the number of them that exist, cutting back a little bit because money. Thoughts? I'm kind of neutral on this, honestly. I've heard some very strong opinions about it, but I'm kind of middle of the road here.
I do buy PhotoPass or the Memory Maker whenever I go for the vacation, because the amount of photos PhotoPass people will take of you definitely gives good memories, and I don't have to worry about whipping out my phone. But at the actual character meet and greets, it's good when they can zoom in or capture that unique moment that a computer probably isn't going to be able to get. Like anytime a kid is smiling, you wait for a kid to smile before you take a photo, for example. That's mainly what I'm thinking about, is it going to be able to get good photos of kids, or are they all going to be like a kid screaming or blinking or crying, when a PhotoPass person could actually do a good job capturing that right moment. And I'm also confused, if they're going to be automatic in that you would tap your wristband and then it says 5-4 on a screen, versus there's got to be a human being still there telling you how to operate this automatic system. I'm sure of it, unless they're cutting down on the number of people that possibly work in the character meet and greets, bringing you in and then saying, okay, here, take the picture automatically, versus having a secondary person. Anyone want to butt in?
Well, that's the money grab concern that a lot of people are worried about, is they're just going to be dumping photographers. But Tyler, you're exactly right. You can't have an unattended meet and greet. There will be at least a cast member helping usher people in and out to keep it from becoming a photo shoot for whoever happens to be standing with Mickey. I don't think they would do this with Mickey, but there's going to be somebody there. And if you want to capture that portrait with the kid smiling, well, just stare at the camera, and it's going to be taking a video, and I assume you're going to be able to get any frame you want that's being taken, and they must have figured this out so that it's going to be high quality. I agree that it'd be nice to have somebody there being able to make the kid feel more comfortable. But there will be a cast member, they will be trained, and they will be helpful, and Disney is not going to maintain this if people aren't buying the photos.
Yeah.
This is a train wreck. Listen, I get, again, we all know I'm pro-Disney. Everyone who's ever seen this show knows I'm always on Disney's side. This is a disaster because you know what? Even if it does 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're going into organized photo booths after waiting an hour, which is insane. 2 is the best moments ever captured is when that photographer first has that child who probably isn't in front of the camera, all the way over by the line, when Mickey or Minnie or Donald or Daisy or Goofy or anyone goes up and greets them, and the child finally warms up and goes towards that front screen. That is where those moments are captured. The best part of these photo opportunities in the parks are the moments where you're not posing. It's the first hug, the first moment, the last hug, the last moment. It is never the actual photo ever. And I think that's
how's the bot not going to capture that?
And you're not. And the same thing with the cutting back. You still need someone to stop the line and say, "Oh, your time's up. I'm next." After waiting this line, you need someone to manage the line. You need someone to make sure whoever the character is has a helper. There's still going to be these team members and cast members right there. So all you're eliminating is the one PhotoPass person who is creating those actual amazing moments. It drives me insane.
Well,
Jill, you have the rest of the time. Thank you so much.
Sorry about
all
that.
I have to say is, how are there over 100 PhotoPass locations in the park? That's the weirdest thing about this story to me. That's way too many, in my opinion.
Moving on to a different kind of photographer. We have some news about SpiderMan at the Disneyland Resort. We've got some new concept art of what the Spider-Man ride is going to be like that's going in Disney's California Adventure over top of where Bugs Land used to be. This is going in the former theater building where It's Tough to Be a Bug was going to be. It's currently theorized but not confirmed, I believe, that this is going to be an interactive attraction. There have been mentions of you slinging webs with Spider-Man. That kind of implies but doesn't state that it'll be an interactive experience, so we could be wrong on that one. This seems really cool to me, honestly. I'm going to pull that picture back up while we talk about this for a little bit. What do y'all think about this?
Can I listen? I know I've been known to talk a long time. I have it short and sweet. I love the synergy that a spider ride is in Bugs Land.
Yep.
That is it. Move on. Everyone else can have their time.
That's fair.
In terms of interactivity, I could probably guess how they're going to do something like slinging webs. It's a little bit unrelated. There's a Lego Ninjago ride where there's sort of like a little motion thing right in front of you. So as you go like this with your bare hands, it detects that and it allows you to shoot targets on a screen. No blasters needed, and the only thing kids need to do is this, and it'll detect that. So if they could bring something like that technology into like a motion-based vehicle, that also gives the sensation of like giant swooping swinging, like a pirate ship attraction. Like, that feeling you get in your gut when you're like go on a pirate ship swinging ride. If they could bring that into this ride, that would be amazing. Oh yeah, and that looks like a giant Universal type box. So I don't have anything to say about the viewing.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's a Kuka arm ride meets like Xbox Connect, where you can just, I don't know. I'm picturing all of these people on this ride like flailing their arms wildly. I kind of want to see video of that. That sounds hilarious to me. Yeah, and there's been a lot of rumors too that it might be something like Toy Story Mania, where you're actually firing a gun, or like the Men in Black type scenario, Buzz Lightyear, that sort of thing. So we'll see. The new concept art, it looks pretty. It makes me excited for Marvel Land as a whole, but I don't think it really tells us a whole lot about what the Spider-Man ride is going to be like.
Yeah,
I'm thrilled for this. I was a longtime believer in the Hollywood Tower of Terror, shocked when they were going to change it, but love what they've done with it. And so I have the same sort of faith in this. Not even a huge Marvel guy. But
you are a California guy, so it's very exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved Bugs Land. Bugs Land was amazing. It was cute. I didn't go on half of the rides, but it was still adorable. They're going to have to bring Heimlich back in some part of the park before I'm ever going to forgive them. But just the concept alone gets me excited about that new ride.
That's fair. Moving on, I don't have a great transition for this one. Sorry, I failed you all.
Come on, Ben. Come on. We
Quick,
depend
so
on one thing: great transitions.
Speaking of other property-based
Speaking
IPs,
of things that will have great transitions between this and the hotel, maybe
That'll work.
There we go. So Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. We've got some new details about the rides that are going to be in that land. Specifically, we have actual names now. The Millennium Falcon attraction is going to be Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. And the Battle Escape attraction is going to be Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. That's the motion ride. That's not the massive interactive attraction. We've also got some teaser trailers for rides. I didn't know that rides got teaser trailers now. These technically have audio, but the audio, you're not missing anything. It's just kind of generic sound effects, and the entirety of the Millennium Falcon one is just people pushing buttons.
They just put Mission.
I
was gonna say it's like Mission Space with Star Wars like writing.
Yeah, and then your Rise of the Resistance. This makes little sense to me. We're inside.
That's all practical though.
This is all practical, which I think is impressive.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
it's not amazing.
Like the only thing I give them points for is that they did this impractical. There's nothing
What
going
doesn't
on
make
here.
sense to you? We're
Why
like,
are we calling
Where's
this
the
amazing?
ride?
Where's the ride? Why do I care?
Whatever we're watching
Why are
right
we
now is
calling
not a
this
ride.
amazing? Yeah.
And
Why
now
are we
I
calling this
care,
amazing?
kind of. Cut.
Why do I care?
Why do I care about this?
well,
Like,
I mean,
seriously,
the
like,
plot of the
why-
ride
like,
is we're sneaking on, and then we're in the middle of
Everyone's
the fight.
already excited. Like, if anything, this ride and this land has been so overhyped more than anything in Disney history. So, like, if I was them, I would be putting out nothing. Like, it has to literally, like, it could be the best ride, and if it's like just the best ride, we'd be like, really? After all this hype, it's just the best ride. This, like, we're so much hype around this. It's gotta like blow. It's gotta blow our mind. We literally have to like walk out of the ride, call our dead grandmother, and be like, "You need to come back to life. Ride this. It's unbelievable." That's how good this has to be.
I get what you're saying. I wouldn't have worded it that way, but I get what you're saying.
No one else would
they
have worded
kinda
it that
aren't
way.
showing us anything, and it's good that it's showing us nothing.
I-
Or next to
But
nothing.
I think I totally agree with Pete. They should be putting nothing out about Star Wars Land as a whole. Like, sure, stuff is going to leak and it's going to get out there, but Disney should not be presenting anything officially. This land is going to be so crazy popular. They're going to create this massive demand for information so that when they do start putting stuff out right before it opens, people are just going to go nuts. Like, I think from a marketing perspective, they're missing the ball here by trying to put this kind of stuff out, especially stuff that's not telling you anything about what the rides are like or what you're going to experience.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever gets that first POV up on YouTube, though,
Yeah, really.
billion views.
Right?
Like, and first of all,
YouTube
like,
money.
it's the worst trailer of all time. It makes me want. It looks like the trailer for The Void. Like, they were like, "Can we borrow your footage?"
Yeah.
Over at Disney Springs. So, like, we just don't have time. We're so busy trying to make this work over here in real life. Can we just borrow your trailer footage? Thanks.
They just took some like cutting room floor footage from episode 8 and put that together.
Do you guys have like a hallway
basic
with like
B-roll.
three stormtroopers walking around doing nothing? We'll take that. Thanks
Got
so
it.
much.
This is what they were doing in the Space Mountain exit instead of actually
Oh my God.
confirming the walkway. They were filming this.
So brutal. If I have to walk uphill after the end of Pirates of the Caribbean in the next 10 years, I'm gonna be so freaking pissed.
Watch it, Pete.
You almost did it.
I
didn't
said
you?
friggin'. I said friggin'.
All right, moving on to the hotel side of Star Wars. Here we have a layout diagram. Thankfully, we found some permits that have been filed, and really the biggest thing to note about this is that it looks like they're right. You can see kind of at the bottom of this picture here that green area shuttle to SWGE. There are going to be shuttles taking you to and from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It's not going to be a walkway. It's not going to be like a people mover shuttle system in the sky. It's going to be like buses. Like that's what we've got. We've got buses.
Relax, Ben. It's not buses. They're magical transports into the space future.
You can say that, but it's a bus.
How do you know it's a bus? How do you know?
I think it's good.
How do you know you're
It's
not
on a road.
transporting a transport?
It's going
How
to
do
be
you know?
enclosed.
You won't see the road. You won't know anything about it.
Where we're going, we don't need roads? Wrong franchise?
Look at me. I'm Mr. Walk down the walkway.
If they could do a technology where when the bus is moving, video screens like make it look like you're driving on an alien planet or something,
Yeah,
they're going to
right on
nail
the
it.
Hogwarts. We can do it on this.
Like
That's
that.
totally
I've
what they
seen
do.
that technology on school buses, weirdly enough.
Like the people mover speed tunnel out here in Disneyland.
Oh gosh.
Cutting edge. That was outstanding. If the Space Mountain passion is any indication, they knew moving sidewalk from the hotel to the park.
They need a moving sidewalk in that hallway of cabins. Go back to the art and look how long that is. It's
Oh
just
my
one
gosh,
giant
it's huge.
hallway.
There are way longer hallways in other Disney hotels than that.
First of all, it's called walking around a planet. It's not walking around a hotel. You're on a different planet.
No, you're on a spaceship here. Like that's the theming of the whole hotel is that you're on a first class spaceship.
I'm assuming spaceships are big.
This
is gonna be. You don't know. Who cares about? What do we expect? Did you expect to like walk in the closet of your hotel room and all of a sudden just show up in Star Wars land and be like, "Wow, Batu is great." You're gonna get on a bus. Like everyone knew this was gonna be a bus. The Skyliner wasn't building any pendulums. Nobody was doing anything. You're gonna get on a bus that's windowless. It's gonna be what all your parents never told you to do unless you're in Walt Disney World. You're gonna go on a windowless bus into the wild, and you're gonna have an amazing experience. And you're gonna be transformed 100% around you. It's gonna be fantastic. Who cares? It's a bus. It's gonna be amazing. You won't know you're on a bus. You'll be on a military space transport. I don't know. I don't know these space things. It's great. This is something I'm on board.
You have the ultimate faith in this. All of a sudden, you have 3 stormtroopers walking toward you in your hotel room. You'd be like, "Yeah, seen it. Boring. Grandma, forget it. It's not that exciting."
Here's the thing that bothers me. We knew this was going to be not directly connected to the hotel, but that's still my peeve here. Why not? Walt Disney World is the biggest Disney park in the world, and yet we have other much smaller resorts that have direct park access hotels like Disneyland and Tokyo. So why can't we have, like, of all the places you could have had a direct access hotel, this would have been the most perfect, amazing spot. So why didn't they do it? They had the room, they had the land. Why didn't they do it?
This should have been one of those like Jones Beach tunnels underneath the highway into the land. That would have been really cool. Even if it's a long walk, it would have been really cool.
Landed and you were coming out of the hangar and walking out into Black Spire Outpost.
Is that
we're complaining about no moving walkways, but now we don't want buses. Let's make up our minds.
This isn't Star Trek where you have to take a little landing shuttle down to the planet.
I want people movers, dang it. I wanted a people mover.
If only there was something called the people mover, it would be great, yeah.
All right. Moving to one of 2 topics that we've got tonight on nighttime shows.
Don't get me started.
The Wonderful World of Animation is a nighttime show that's going to be coming to Hollywood Studios starting in May of next year. This show is going to be using projection technology to take guests on a magical journey through more than 90 years of Disney animation, starting with Mickey himself and clearly focusing on that. This seems like a neat idea. I've definitely liked the fact that they've got some of the more less represented movies in that art. I'm going to flip back to that real quick. You can kind of pick out in the background there. You can find some Zootopia if you're looking hard. There's some Coco. I think I see some Lilo and Stitch in there. There's some Sleeping Beauty.
Look at all of those characters.
Did you see like things that like are hard to find? Like old movies that made over $1 billion are like, oh, there's Zootopia.
Zootopia is impossible to find in the parks. Like,
Zootopia made over $1 billion.
Sorry, can you go back to the art for a sec?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Look at all of those characters that we love and are memorable, and then at the bottom right, that one crab monster from Moana who had one song.
That's amazing.
I was like, "What is that? Is that a braid?" Nope, it's the lobster thing.
Is that
or whatever
a parade?
It is. I don't care.
That's Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords. Bite your tongue, young man.
Yeah.
Hey, I like
business
Jermaine, and I
time.
like Flight of the Conchords. I like that song.
Definitely did an awesome voice in a Rick and Morty episode.
Guys, we're wasting way too much time on this story. Someone say something useful so we can get on to my Epcot rant. I'm very excited about Epcot. I have a rant prepared. We only have 1 minute and 48. Let's do this.
Well, if we got a Pete rant for Epcot, I'm going to move ahead real quick here. we've got Attack of the Epcot. So this is kind of a 2-parter. Let me flip over to the article. We have 2 different shows coming to replace Illuminations, one in 2019 and one in 2020. First off, the 2021, which is going to be a bit more permanent, is going to be a celebration of Disney music, which is going to show how Disney music inspires people around the globe. I think this is where the rant is. The 2019 show is going to be a different experience called Epcot Forever, which is going to feature classic Epcot tunes, and I can hear Jason squealing off in the distance.
No, Jason's excited about the other one.
Really?
No, I would rather the 2019 show. Give me a history of Epcot, because at least it's a history of Disney moving the community and the world forward. That is what this is all about. Are you kidding me with this? A history of Disney music and how it's helped around the world. Oh, I got to change my background. I can't do this for the rant. Oh, God. I have to change the background. Hold on. Oh, I'll just move back for a second.
While we're mid-rant, does anybody else want to say something?
Oh, my God. This is the worst. All right. Go ahead. You guys. All right. I'm going to try and finish this up as fast as I can. What is happening? The whole point, the reason everyone loves Epcot World Showcase is the same reason you love Animal Kingdom. You go into Africa. You go into Asia. It is so beautiful and unique. And then when you enter the World Showcase, the same thing. You go into those countries. There are people who speak the language. There's all these. They spend all this time and money. And now we're going into Disney music and how it pertains to the countries. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. This is it. Why are we going to Epcot? This should be, it's just a beautiful thing. Like, Epcot is all about experiencing the world. And first of all, and I just realized this week, made me really upset, we're going to lose the holiday ending at Epcot, which we have a great video at wwnt.com. That is the greatest. If you don't cry at the end of that, that is how you figure out whether you're an American or a human being or whatever you are. But if you don't cry, you should just leave. You should just leave the planet and just check out and say goodbye. There's so much more I want to say, but I'm sorry. I'm very upset.
Pete Carney for sending people who don't cry at theme parks to the moon 2020.
Yes.
Or people who aren't Americans.
Here's what I want to know.
Yeah, how's the Canadian feel about that one? That's
sorry. I like to watch the American Pavilion.
No, I'm 100% with him. That music of Disney thing is like Donald finding out he was a T-Rex or whatever.
Oh, like, my gosh.
It's that loose premise that they're like, we don't know what to do. Donald's Animal Kingdom. That music one doesn't sound good, but the Epcot Forever, like when I heard that title, I'm like, yes, I'm on board with whatever that is.
Ignore that buzzer. We've got some extra time.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I think the Epcot Forever is going to be amazing. I think it's really disappointing that they're already saying it's going to be so short-lived. Here's what I want to know about the Disney music one is they're saying it's going to show how Disney music inspires people around the globe. How are you going to show that in a fireworks show? Like, a nighttime spectacular like this is not the place to try to illustrate a complex concept. You can illustrate a concept like everyone around the world is one. That's fine. But trying to say Disney music inspires people around the globe, how are you supposed to show that? How is anybody going to get that message? And so I think Pete's totally right. This doesn't feel like it fits in World Showcase. What does Disney music have to do with World Showcase?
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age, and I'm sorry I'm coming back, but in an age where I won't even say what side you're on, whether you're on the left or the right, especially in American politics, the whole point of of Epcot and the World Showcase is it doesn't matter if you're left or right, what country you're from. It's where human beings, we take care of each other. Let's work together and make the planet a better place and show love and peace. And that's when they sing "Let There Be Peace on Earth" during this time of year. If you don't cry, it's crazy. But anyway, that's the whole point. So now what are we doing? We're just going to sing Disney songs at the end of Epcot? Stop it. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go on. I had to jump in.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's a pretty good note to end the show on there. This message of unity around the world being important, because that gives me the opportunity to plug something that we're going to be doing next weekend. Next weekend is Next weekend is our Toys for Tots marathon, starting
Yes.
Friday night and going for 50 hours straight until Sunday night. We are going to be broadcasting live content on WDWN Tunes. Things like, let's see, what's the list here? We've got a bunch of game shows lined up. See You Real Late with Tom Corliss. ParksCenter is going to have an episode on Saturday. And we're going to have on Friday night the return of WDW News Tonight. That's right, the radio show is coming back for the night. Maybe longer, I don't know yet.
Ooh.
Tune in to find out.
Well,
Stay tuned.
if it's successful, maybe that'll happen. So you should tune in and give us some ratings.
Right.
Do it for the town.
But check that out. It's going to be from November 30th to December 2nd. We're going to be collecting donations the entire time. All of that money is going to Toys for Tots. So please, if you can't afford anything from just a couple bucks to a big donation too, we love those. We would greatly appreciate anything you can do. And even if you can't donate, come tune in, hang out with us, and make it a good time. Especially if you can be up late at night, because that's usually my shift and there's like no one there. Please help.
I think I'm going to be on there at like 3 a.m. to like 4 a.m. or something.
Oh,
Like,
sweet.
That'll be fun.
I think we're shaving Ben's head at 4 a.m. on Saturday.
Live on camera.
I think for the right donation, I think it's
I see the ParksCenter logo on his bald head.
$1,200.
$1,200.
I heard, I heard he'll do it. I heard he'll do it for 800. I heard he'll do it for 800.
But please, folks, if you can that weekend, please check that out. As for this show, if you are watching
Also,
this show
major
on
announcements.
YouTube and you'd like this in podcast form, we do have a podcast available. Search for ParksCenter and you should be able to find us. If you're listening to the audio version, you'd rather have some wonderful faces talking at you and some video clips to go along with it, check us out at youtube.com/WDWNT. And while you're there, you can hit subscribe and get notifications every time that we go live. If you are watching live and you are one of our patrons, or our Wigs members as we like to call them, stay tuned and scroll down just a little bit. You'll see the live show embedded just below this one. Hit play on that, and we will have our Wigs post show where we chat with you folks and talk about all the things that we didn't get a chance to talk about on the main show, which this week there's a lot of them. So we're probably going to be busy. Thank you folks for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Sivako.